Hi everyone, how are you guys today? Sorry for being a bit late. Hi Flyby, thank you for the introduction. Hey Raul, Maddie, Mars, hi. Martin, hello. Echoes. Hi, how's everyone doing? I always feel like I'm out of breath when I come on here. I'm here. It's very snowy today. I think this is the last official cold day, where I am at least. So it's like minus 10, I think, Celsius right now. Bon après-midi. Yeah, but it's gonna be spring. It's gonna be spring on like Tuesday, so we can all survive. I don't know. Should I go out in the? I should go out in the snow, shouldn't I? Like one last Calvin and Hobbes adventure. I should. Living in England. I feel like the British. I feel like you guys complain about nothing. Like I know it's rainy, but I'm sorry. I don't think it compares. Yeah, I'm ready for the summer. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for leaving the house without, like, just leaving the house in a t-shirt. There's something so wonderful about that. Leaving the house in sandals. Yeah. Today's gonna be a good day. Oh, that's pretty. It's British tradition to complain. Fair enough then. That's very funny. I wouldn't do well there then. I'd be like, what's wrong? I don't like complaining. I mean, I guess. Does it feel good? Is it fun? All right, Australia. Oh, cool. I didn't know you were in Australia, Mars. Okay. You love your jackets. Yeah, but you can always, like, whatever. I just, like, I want the option. I don't want it to be mandatory. I want the jacket to be optional. How am I? Okay, so, no, I'm, like, almost, I think I might finish my book today. I was like, I could just declare that I'm going to finish today. And I could just, like, because I think that's what has been getting away. I've been dragging my feet a little bit because I reached, like, whatever. Why am I ashamed of this? I set myself a word count that I was like, I'm going to reach 70,000 words. It was just helpful to have that goal. And I was like plugging away. And then I reached that. And I'm like, cool, so the end is nigh. And I've been dragging my feet a little bit. And I think, yeah, just thinking too much about what an ending should be or ought to be, how to do it properly. And that's all getting in the way. So I wonder what would happen if I just, like, put on some good music, like focus music, and I was like, we're just doing this. We're just writing until the end now. I think that would be useful. And if I get it done, like, I could say, oh, I'll get it done this weekend. It doesn't have to be today. But if I was just like, it's done by this weekend, whatever that means, I think that would be good for me. And then it would be done. I wouldn't have to, I don't know, talk to people who are like, how's the book going? How's it going? I could be like, it's done. That's how it's going. And then, of course, I have to, like, read it. But that might actually be enjoyable. The writing is enjoyable, too. How can I get your book? Like, do you guys, I don't know if you want to read this. I don't know if anyone should read this. It's written from like my younger self's perspective. So I'm a little protective of her. And I'm a little afraid about what other people might like think of her. Because she's a bit crazy. It's not that she, like, she's just a bit, she is like caught in her little world, which like we all are. But she's caught there. But hopefully like by the end of it, I mean, that's why I started this, because I was like, let's try writing this. Let's try writing this. And as I wrote it, it was kind of like I grew up in the writing of it. So I really do think that the character changes a lot by the end of it. You have to read it now. Okay. I mean, it's a teenage girl's perspective. I'm just putting that out there. Teenage girl. You know, not all men can identify with a female character. Yes, they can. Ooh, oh, that's a good idea, Bach. That's a good idea. I was thinking more like trance music. Bach can be trance. Oh, that's nice. I do, yeah. I do love what I've written, I think. I think I do actually really love it. And I'm proud of myself, you know? And that's something that I couldn't always admit. Just like the feeling of pride. Baby Mango, hello. Is that part of your name? Hi, Baby Mango. I like your name. I like your name. Yeah, is there anything else to talk about? Not really. Not really. I think with spring, it's like, oh, it's definitely a different season. I know that's kind of like, but I do feel like the beginning of this year definitely was a thing, and I had my goals and I had my intentions, and I was like very focused and driven. And now moving into spring, there's just a different feeling and a different mood. And I feel a lot more relaxed about everything. And I kind of am thinking like that's the solution to all my problems. Like I just wasn't even aware how scared and how tense I have been for most of my life. And like I've talked about this before, like when you're in a state, you can't see outside of it. You can't. So you don't even know that you're holding tension. Like, yeah, I mean, it's really easy to just compare it to the physical, which is like, you know, when you have like a muscle that is so knotted, you don't even feel it anymore. And then like you go to see like a masseuse or something, and they're like, oh, what the hell is this? And you're like, huh? Like you didn't even know. You didn't even know. And I think we have that like on an emotional, mental being level. These knots that we're just so used to. We don't have to be anymore. Okay. I'm gonna start talking about, do you guys like my title? I didn't come up with it. Can't take credit. I wondered about whether I should call it that because I was like, should I name, like, should I give power to this thing? Should I name it Backstabbers? Should I call it that? Because words have power. And you'll see like what I'm talking about there. But yeah, I was just, let's go for it. It's a good name. It's dramatic. It's catchy. It's catchy. And I kind of suspect that's why people have those in their lives. So yeah, someone wanted me to do a live about backstabbing, or about like trusting friends and having friends like stab them in the back or reveal their secrets, or just be lousy friends, just betray trust. Betray trust. And I was like, that all sounds great, but I don't really have anything to say about that because I haven't really experienced that. Which I think is interesting. And I kind of want to get to that. Like, why is it that some things just like aren't on the radar for certain people? And I'm not saying like, oh, look at me, like I don't have that. I think actually if I were to like relay events in my life to someone else who saw things a completely different way, they would like see it within the paradigm of like, that person backstabbed you. But I don't see it that way. I don't see the things that have happened to me from that perspective, and so they've never happened to me. And because I don't have that like kind of like energetic pull towards that kind of narrative, it doesn't really happen. And I'm also going to tell one on myself in regards to that, because like I don't want to be like, see, like I don't see enemies, or like I don't see betrayal, or I don't see like lack of trust, I'm just perfect. It's not that. If anything, like if I look back at my younger self, like there are things that, yeah, you could see as betrayal. And even like with my parents, we'll probably get into that. Sorry, mom and dad. But like, yeah, betrayal of trust. There were events, but like more often than not, I didn't take it personally. Not always like in a good way. Like a very younger self was like, this is gonna sound bad, but it's like I just didn't think I mattered. I didn't think I mattered enough to be stabbed in the back. Like I just didn't think anyone would go out of their way to do that to me. Who's like plotting revenge against me? Like no one is concerned about me. I am not threatening enough to anyone. I am not important or threatening enough to anyone for them to have to do this. And so when like friends wouldn't be friends, whatever terms I had come up in my head, it wasn't like against me. It was usually like I had failed to make myself important enough or exciting enough to keep them around, to keep them being friends. Like it was very like me. I'm the problem. And so it wasn't like I didn't have that, oh, this person betrayed me. Like it was like, no, they acted completely logically based on who I am. They didn't betray anything. Anything like good for them. I admire their willingness to see things as they are and to get out of that situation. I would probably do the same thing if given the choice. I'm not saying that to like feel sorry for myself. I'm really trying to tell on myself to be like, that's what I was, that's how I saw things, that's how I was believing other people to be and myself to be. Like that's how it was. That's really how it was. So it's not necessarily like a great thing that I didn't see it. That I didn't see this like narrative of backstabbing. But yeah, that's why ultimately, like it comes down to narrative, and it comes down to story, and it comes down to trust, and it comes down to safety and like wholeness and freedom and just like this sense of like okayness, just being okay. And we're going to talk about relationships, and maybe I should get into that now, meaning that like I really do think that relationships are like the primary thing in a person's life. And we don't always see how exactly we're relating to people, and we don't see it as like, we don't see it as a story. It just seems like that's how you relate to people. And one of the things that I've been noticing, and I noticed this so extremely last night with like my sister and her husband came over. Oh my God. And I just saw how I was operating was very much like I was trying to manage everyone in this very like subtle, like just make sure everyone is okay. Make sure everyone is okay at all times. And the way that I would do this was like make everyone feel included, make everyone feel welcome, make everyone feel good about themselves. Make sure no one ever takes offense to anything ever said, and make sure I like sprinkle out lots of compliments. Make sure make sure everyone feels supported. Make sure everyone has something to eat. Make sure the kids are played with. Make sure like just all these like dishes I'm holding in the air, and there's nothing against all that. If anything, it's like I have like chronic host syndrome or something. I don't know what that is. People pleasing, yeah. But it was kind of funny. I just like I really really saw it for the first time last night, and I also really saw like people's reaction to it. Like I'd be like, no, 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 I'm saying like you're great, and thank you for dinner, and this was really good. And I saw them being like, why are you doing that? Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you constantly have to make sure that I'm okay in every given moment? I'm okay. I saw their reaction and just like, you don't have to do that. Why are you doing that? Why are you so concerned with how everyone else is at this given moment? And why do you have like, you make it such a priority as opposed to like making sure that you have a nice time? Like, why are you so concerned everyone else has a nice time and everyone else feels great? And like, you do not care about your own experience. You do not care. And the truth is, it's like, I guess for the longest time, it just felt like that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the way that I have importance is I make everyone else feel even more important. And I mean, that works. That works. But anyway, that's like a way of, I'm bringing that up because that's relationship. And it's like with every single person I meet, there's always this, am I fulfilling this agreement that I have to make sure everyone walks away feeling good about themselves? Am I upholding that? And there's not a lot of peace and freedom and trust in that. There's very much like a line I have to toe with that person, with any person. And if I don't, I'm in trouble. So I'm very constrained in that sense. And similarly, like other people are very constrained. Our relationship can only be that. It's very small. It's very small because there's very strict guidelines. So there isn't a lot of mutual trust. To just like, that we're okay, that we can just kind of like coexist and be ourselves, and we'll be okay through that. That will be okay. And I would say, when it comes to trust, like, a way to look at it also is that it's not so much if you have lack of trust in yourself or in others. It's that you have like trust in another thing. You have trust that they'll lose interest. You'll have trust that they'll be offended. You'll have trust that they'll decide that you're not worth keeping around. You have trust that if you share a secret, they're gonna tell it. You have trust that you can't really trust. You have trust that like they're a lousy friend, or you have trust that like you don't really have friends, or you have trust that like people are selfish, or you have trust like whatever it is. You have a belief, you have a faith, you have a trust that things are gonna be something. And then you're like shocked and amazed when it goes the way that you honestly think it's gonna go. in as general or as specific as you let it be. So you have a way of like conceiving others. You have a way of relating to them. You just do. You do. And the sooner that you can admit that and be open about it, like, I really mean this, I really mean this. Do not try to be something just because you think it's the right way to be. Being around people is hard sometimes. And sometimes our view of people and our relationships to people, just like this general vague idea of what people is, like, isn't a great one. But you feel like, I'm supposed to, I need them. A good person likes to be around other people. A good person likes people. Like, at least that's what I've had. It's like, it's wrong not to trust. It's wrong not to do this. I have to be this person who just feels comfortable around others all the time. And like, just be honest. Just be honest if you're like actually scared to be with someone. Just to like hang out with someone. Just be honest. It's fine. So what? You're scared. Like a little toddler, my little niece, she comes over. I really like, maybe this is all I'm gonna give you guys. My little 3-year-old niece, she comes over, and I know you're gonna be like, she's 3. Yo, you're all 3, basically. I don't think we really grow up, we just change. She's 3, and she's seen me hundreds of times in her little life. And she's shy, because she hasn't seen me since yesterday or something. And she's shy, and she doesn't know what to do around me. She doesn't know how to be around me. And she hugs her mom. Like, you know, the thing where, like, you hug your mom's skirt. You know, you hide behind your parents, and you're like, who's this person? And if that's you, if that's actually you, when you take a walk around the block and you're like, oh, there's my neighbor. I don't really want to talk to them because I don't know what to say, and I don't know how to do. I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to be around them. Like, that's okay. That's okay. And you might notice that they actually feel the same way. I feel that with my neighbors. I feel that like, oh, here we go. We're gonna like pass by one another. It's like this awful thing that has to happen because we're just like awkward and we don't know how to be around one another. And with Erin, I don't take offense that she's shy. I don't make it mean something about myself. I'm just like, I'm just not gonna be shy. I'm just gonna be okay with her being however she is. And I'm gonna kind of like turn my light beam on and I'm gonna have fun and she's gonna get drawn into that. I'm just gonna make myself feel as comfortable and as happy and as safe as possible. And she's gonna get drawn into that. And she does every single time. She gets drawn in. And I don't force her to be anything. She comes to me. That's all it is. It's like working with animals. Let them come to you. And so if you have something around people that you can't trust them, that's okay. If you have something where like you've been betrayed in the past, that's okay. That people hurt you. Again, that you're afraid of them, that they're going to reveal something about you, or they're going to like, they're going to compromise you, or they're going to fail to meet your expectations, or whatever it is. They're going to hurt you. They're going to hurt you. It's okay to be afraid of them. But then also recognize that like, you don't trust them. You don't trust them, and that's probably where it started. And you also don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself that you're okay. If you have a secret to tell, why is it a secret? Like, why do you need to keep a secret? And that's not to be like, so go reveal all your secrets, or like, you should be able to be completely honest with every person that you meet. I'm kind of against that. Like, I'm against, what is it? Like almost like emotional flashing. I'm against that. Like, don't force yourself to be anything. But if, yeah, like if there's aspects of yourself, or if there's facts about yourself or past events like that you've experienced or whatever it is, and you feel like this person has one over on me, or like I need to make sure this stays hidden. I need aspects of myself to stay hidden in order for me to be safe. Cool. That means that there are parts of yourself that you like don't trust, or to put it another way, like you trust that they're bad and like need to stay down. You trust that they're not acceptable, or like they're dangerous to you in some way. So you don't trust yourself. You don't trust that all of you is acceptable in the world. And therefore, with other people, you're not going to trust that all of them is acceptable to you. You're not going to trust that they'll necessarily do right by you, because you don't think you're right in some way. Does that make sense? Like, you think something's kind of off with you that you need to hide. You do. You think there's something unacceptable about you. You think there's something unlikable, unshareable, unknowable about you. In regards to my parents, like, it was kind of interesting that this topic of trust was suggested, because like what I've been writing this past week, it came up, and like whatever, like one of the characters in the book I'm writing was like, you've lost our trust. We don't trust you anymore. And it really made me examine what that actually means when someone says that. And it's such a like like a black and white statement. Like, I don't trust you. And it's not true. So it's dangerous to say that. It's just so stark and complete a statement to say, I don't trust myself, I don't trust the world, I don't trust you. Yes, you do. Like, you trust them around certain things. You probably trust that they'll like continue to breathe, continue to be alive tomorrow. You probably trust that like they'll continue looking that way and being that way. You probably trust a lot of things about them. It's just a certain aspect. So firstly, that's like, like, be specific about what you don't trust about them. And maybe they're not a good person to like tell a secret to. Okay? That's okay. You know that, right? Like, that's okay. Not everyone needs to be, I don't know, this like safety vault. Like we're all human, aren't we? And not everyone can be trusted to like know what's best for you, to do right by you, whatever that means. Not everyone can be trusted to like have the answers and have the appropriate emotional response, or be like people aren't people aren't like, they're flawed. So it doesn't mean anything against you. It doesn't necessarily mean an attack against you. It was just like, they made a choice based on themselves and based on their like limited perception and their scope of what was possible and what was the best course of action to take. And that's all it is. And you should develop the discernment to decide, like, I think I can tell this person this thing. And I think I can also handle whatever comes out of that. Or like, I think I can expect this person to show up for me. I think I can just expect them to show up. And if they do not, I think I can trust myself to be okay with that. I think I'm like willing to just like put that out there and see them show up, and also like just know that I'm okay either way. I think I can trust this person. Like, if they tell me something, I think I can believe them. I think I can believe them. And I can take it on myself that like, I'm choosing to believe them. It's your choice to trust someone. No one can like break your trust because like you gave it. You chose. You chose. And maybe you were wrong. And that's okay. Like maybe someone let you down. That's okay. Isn't it? Like maybe don't give Bernie Madoff your money again. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but it's like, maybe learn your lesson. Maybe you were like deeply, deeply disappointed, and I'm really sorry. But you just learned that like, maybe it's not, maybe I now believe something different about this person when it comes to this subject, when it comes to this specific thing. With my parents, my lovely, lovely parents, like honestly, lovely parents. I think everyone can relate to this. I think ultimately, like, I stopped trusting them at a certain point in my life because, like, it sounds so dumb. Because it was like, I realized, like, they weren't great parents. They didn't actually know how to take care of me. They didn't. Like, they didn't have the right tools to do a lot that I needed. And it felt like a violation of trust. It felt like I can't trust you anymore. But really, it was like so much against myself. It felt like a violation of trust because I really had believed. Like, and I really felt like I had been like programmed to believe. This sounds bad, but it's like I felt like I had been programmed to believe on the basis of love. So I really felt like something that had been said growing up was like, we love you, but we love you, as if that absolved everything. And as if it made it that if someone loves you, they will always do right by you. And you can trust them, that they'll always do right by you. That like they will somehow always like vanquish the odds, and they will always get through to you, and they will always do the right thing and say the right thing. And you're always going to be okay together, and you're always going to be together because they love you. And like when that got shattered for me, it was like, it was heartbreaking. But what was heartbreaking, like, it wasn't anything they did. It was that I had like, it was my expectation. It was like my perception of the world. That's what got shattered. That's really what got shattered. And again, like, it so much came down to like me not trusting myself at that point in time, that like I didn't know how to take care of me. It was like this, well, I don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. What the hell? Like, what the hell is this? No one knows like what the hell to do with me. This isn't fair. This isn't right. Like, why? What am I supposed to do? It was just like such a disillusionment of like safety in the world. And ultimately, like, what I figured out and what I probably continue to figure out is that it's like some people just don't get it yet. You probably don't fully get it yet. And that's okay. You're still okay wherever you're at. And other people are still okay, like, wherever they're at. And sometimes it's just up to you to be like, I'm going to take care of myself. I am going to take care of myself. And that doesn't mean that, like, that I can't trust other people. And it doesn't mean that, like, other people are bad or whatever it is. It's just like, maybe it's mostly my responsibility. Maybe that's just how it is. It's mostly my responsibility to like, to just make myself feel supported and secure and safe and loved. Maybe that is mostly my job, and other people can catch up to me. And they're not betraying me, and they're not like disappointing me. They're just like doing their thing. And I will accept whatever love and generosity and form of parenting they throw my way. But ultimately, like, I am not going to hold them to some idea of what I think they should have, like, what I think would have been right by me. based on ideas that someone else gave me, ideas that like pop culture or movies or like other people gave me. I'm just gonna like trust that I'm okay, that whatever happened was okay, that they're okay, that we can continue to just like evolve and get along. And it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I'm okay as I am. And if I am betrayed, if I lost a friend, if I lost, like, it's okay. Ultimately, just like having that bigger picture of like, it's okay. And can I trust that? Can I just trust that ultimately, bigger picture, this is okay. This is really okay. And I don't need to manage anything, and I don't need to manage myself. And I can just chill out and enjoy people to the extent that I can actually enjoy them, trust them to the extent that I can actually trust them, and let it become whatever it does. Like, I don't know. I don't want to harp on too much about like my own specific issues, but like if I think of my family, I guess, and I think of last night and what I observed in myself of just like this hyper vigilant host being like, am I being a good aunt? Am I being a good aunt? Am I playing with your children enough? Am I showing enough attention to your children? You know, it's like, what if I don't? What if I fail? Can I trust that like they'll still like me at the end of the day? If I'm not like the most amazing or the most impressive or the most funny or the most spectacular or the most generous or the most kind, can I still trust that I have value and that like that it's okay, that it's even right, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm being, and that whatever other people are being, they don't need to be any other way? Can I just drop all the expectations? Can I stop assuming that like it needs to be something? That like the thing about that it needs to be this is there's this like ultimatum type quality. There's this like cliff. There's this edge of like if we don't stay on this cliff, everything's gonna fall apart. And it makes life very precarious. And I don't know, I welcome you guys to look at where you're living precariously. You know, where are you extra careful, extra vigilant, extra monitored? Where are you scared? It's okay to be scared. It's okay. You don't have to be brave. You don't. The bravest thing you can do is like admit you're scared in a way. So I guess that's what I have to say about trust and other people. And yeah, in that vein, I'm just gonna say like I'm still like working out my kinks when it comes to other people, obviously. And I know I recognize that it like has to do with me. I really recognize that. It's really hard to recognize that. Like it's a bit, I guess I'm like a bit disappointed in myself that I'm not more generous, you know, in my estimation of people, in their capacity, that I'm still so, I think I can be like withholding, and I don't really give them a chance to, I don't want to say this, but like I don't think I really give them a chance to love me as I am. So I don't know. That's where I'm at, and that's okay, and I'm not gonna try to fix it because I don't need to. And it's gonna be what it is, and like it's gonna, I don't know. It's the last day of winter. You know, the snow's gonna melt. It's gonna melt when it's the right time to melt, and it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I hope the chat is still working, guys, because it's been quiet. So, yeah. Are you still there? Let me know if the chat is working. If not, I guess I'll log out because I can't see your messages. I can't see your chat. Yeah. I don't know how to, I think the chat froze on me. So, okay, tell you what, I'm gonna end this. No pressure to stick around. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna start another live right away. So log into that one if you want to, just to say hi, bye, or read any comments or any questions. Okay? Okay.